We've all had teachers before, but let me tell you about the history of my teachers. So I was in a geometry class once, and my teacher just said something so dumb, I had to write it down. And it was, goog, goog, goog. And that's when I realized, I need to write down every single word that comes out of this man's mouth. And so I did. Come on, people, let's wake up and hit the button! One time I was listening to music in class because this man would talk about geometry for maybe 10 minutes in the 15-minute class. We've all done it. So I was listening to music and it started with this horn sound effect that went doo-doo-doo. And he quite literally did that sound effect immediately after that part had played. One time he would just randomly start beatboxing. He also said, "What's Drake the famous rapper's next move?" And, I mean, I don't think he knows exactly about Drake. He talked about mohawks for like a solid minute. At one point, he started talking about the everlasting passage of time and how every day we get closer and closer to our inevitable demise. He looked up awful jokes at the beginning of class that he really did think were funny, but they were very much not. Like this one time, he looked up a joke and said, "Well, you've defeated my Minotaur. Well, let's see how you do against my Maxitor." Talked about that joke for like a solid 3 minutes. And then said, okay, what kind of angle is this? Maxitor. And one time at the end of class he said, "You guys are free to go and boogie on your own." But he's not bad because he did a bad job. I just didn't like him because he talked dumb. But another teacher I didn't like, my freshman health teacher. This woman is an absolute crap hole. So you know how you teach people? You walk them through each and every step so they can easily pass the test. Each and every step to help learn what you need to. This teacher, though, she spun a wheel. I'm not joking. She barely taught anything during the test because most of the time she was talking about how to get exempt from the test instead of how to pass it. And at the end of each session, she spun a wheel to see who would get exempt from the test. Every session, I watched that wheel pass right over my name. Each time, just a few spaces away. I did not get an exemption the entire year, and I just barely passed that class because of how evil this teacher was, literally gambling her students' grades. Then there's chemistry. He wasn't terrible, but he was a character for sure. For most of the year, he was actually a pretty good teacher. I understood most of the material, and he walked us through it very well, until the fourth quarter, where he said this. "Oh, by the way, some of the questions might be wrong because they're AI generated." I'm sorry? Last I checked, you didn't allow students to use AI for help with the questions. Now it's making the questions? Are we not seeing the obvious idiocy here? Oh my gosh. Ugh. It is so hot in that car. Like, crikey. Insanely hot. Anyway, huge thank you to all the support I got in the Hurt animation. It took many months of procrastination, but I'm glad I was finally able to get it done. And it got a lot of support that I'm very glad it did because a lot of people have been asking for it. Anyway, you guys are free to go and boogie on your own.